Let's look at features. And I've created some sample features here, and I'm just going to open up one of them so that we can talk about feature functionality. Obviously, it's going to have a feature number, it's going to have a description. It is going to have a unit of measure associated with it. So we're expanding, and again, this is using the Business Central standard units of measure setup table, but we're expanding the use of that. So it relates not just to an inventory item, it's now going to relate to a feature. Features can have different types. So you can create whatever feature types that you want associated with your features. I think typically what we would see is a feature type could be related to either the type of thing that we're looking or where we're looking at it. So there could be quality measures, feature measures, et cetera, but it allows you to categorize those. Key here on data type. So I can do a variety of different types of features. So decimal is pretty straightforward, text is pretty straightforward. An option feature set allows me to set up optional values to select from. So if it's small, medium, large, high, medium, low, condition of good, excellent, poor, whatever it might be, I can define these options within the feature set and then have those be selected. I have a Boolean, so yes, no, true, false type of a value, and then I have dates. So based on the type of data type I select, then some of these other features or components around the feature are going to be available to us. I do have the ability to do rounding. This target value, lower and upper limit values. What this allows me to do is, as an inspection, let's say, is performed, I can set tolerances for an acceptable value. Then what I can do is I can set up rules around that acceptable value. So if a measurement that I take is outside of my upper or lower maybe it's just outside of one of them, so either upper or lower tolerances, I could then say that that lot is, let's say, it goes into a quarantine area, or it goes into a rework area, or maybe it's scrapped because it's not usable if the temperature got too high or too low, et cetera. So not only am I recording a value, I can have some rules based on the measurement that is returned during the inspection, okay? Transferred a lot of information, so this allows me then to capture that feature or that measurement and tie it to a lot for further use someplace else. So, maybe it's a quality check, good, poor, excellent, for example. Well, that option then would be tied to the lot number, so that when I look up the lot number back when we looked at the lot information, I could see then what the feature, what the condition is of that. So that's what allowed me to transfer that lot information. It also does allow me to view that information later. So if I take the measurement throughout the process, I could have a measurement that's taken and have the history of that. You'll see some further values here then around the quality. So as I talked about this upper lower tolerance and then the control limits, this is what then would allow me to determine, does it meet my quality inspection or not? Another key field here is requires inspection. So I can have features, as we saw initially, that don't interact with my inspection orders or my quality extension. They could just be features tied to a particular item. If I want the feature then tied to quality, I have to flag the inspection so that it would be available on an inspection order, okay? All right, just look at the Fahrenheit. So this is a calculated measure, and I'll just show you. It's a simple formula. So I can have actually a fairly complex formula if I wanted in here, but this is taking feature 1 times 1.8, adding 32 to translate Celsius, which is that feature 1, into a Fahrenheit. Again, pretty basic calculation. More typically, I think what you'd be seeing is, if I'm taking 4 different measurements of a particular lot, they are used then to calculate some final value. I don't need to manually calculate that value. It's going to be calculated dependent on the measures or the other features that I have in the system.